It's Inci Mehmet, everyone! It's oh, wow. Here we go. Inci Mehmet, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Inci.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. First of all, I'm really sorry. The stage is a bit of a mess because we've just had so many gifts. So I'm really sorry about the rubbish on the stage.
I quite like the fact that I didn't have to adjust the height of the mic. Just Tom and I were just on the same level.
5'8" is average height in the UK for a man. Before anyone asks, it's average height for
Your
a
wife's
UK
like, yeah, that's my guy.
Absolutely fine.
Inci, we're just going to ask you some random, spontaneous questions that just come to us while we chat to you. And these definitely aren't questions that we've prepared at all.
Not at all.
A question that I came up with was... do you ever, when you're out there commentating for Sky Sports Golf, do you ever think, oh, this is just something I was thinking on my way here today?
It's a good question, Tom. I know this.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Do you ever think, oh, I'd love to be back out there. I'd love to be back out there.
It kind of depends, right? So I would say I would jump to the conclusion and just say, like, no.
Right.
Because golf would ruin my life. You know, golf is hard. Obviously, I adore this game. I've devoted my whole life towards it. And I will leave that to the great guys and girls who play. I think, you know, when you go to the range or you play around a golf and you hit that great shot, you're like, okay, I've still got this. I could do it.
So do you still get the same buzz? Another question I was thinking. Do you still get the same buzz?
Where are all these good questions coming
just
from,
in my
Tom?
head. Do you still get the same buzz when you hit a good shot?
The funny thing is, I played in this event called the British Par 3. Have you heard of it?
The what? The British?
British Par 3 is an event. So it's like this really, really quirky golf course. You can hit the perfect shot and it spins off and you're like 20 feet away, or you hit it out of bounds. It's ridiculous. And then I think we were about 3 under for the 9. So I'm like, great, I could get back on tour on this. And the next 9, it was an absolute shambolic round. So golf can switch really, really hard. And by all means, I definitely feel like this job is the best job in the world. But if it wasn't for all the hours and days that I put into trying to, you know, kind of play, then I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. So I adore my job now, and thank God I don't play golf anymore.
Nice answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
What you're basically saying is if golf is 9 holes, you'd be up for doing it
I've
again.
got that
Which, to
in
be
the
honest,
bag.
I think Liv are going to do that next year.
Yeah, sign me up on the Live Ladies League. I'll be there.
Yes. So do you still hit shots every now and again, and you're like, oh God, that's why I play?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's a funny transition because when I stopped playing about 4 years ago, I was like, it's a difficult decision to make, right? You've just spent your whole life trying to make it, and you've got to choose a path. And eventually it was quite an easy route to take, but that initial move was quite challenging. But now I'm like, I'm glad that I've made the move, and no matter what, I make the cut every single week with work. So
Like Liv.
it's a good, like Liv, once again, it's a good gig. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question as well that I think a lot of people in the room want answering, and me personally, definitely. How do people break 80? What's the thing that's holding people back?
I think it's just chill. I think a lot of amateurs, they feel like they're Hulk, and they always underclub themselves. They always come up shy. So that's one thing. But also, you're not that superhero. So, like, let's say you're under a tree, and Phil Mickelson, he'll probably pull it off, but he's Phil Mickelson for a reason, right? And I feel as though a lot of amateurs go for the superhero shots. So I would just say, ask yourself the question, if you're going to hit that shot 10 times, and that shot that you're going for, are you going to make it 9-8 times out of 10? Probably not.
Yeah.
So make the decision where you're more likely to have a better success rate. So stop being a superhero, I would say.
That is such good advice. It's sort of getting greedy, isn't it? That's something I do. I think, I could definitely get the 3-wood on.
We always
too.
believe, which is like the great thing about this game. We always believe that we could do it, but...
There is a point, though, I think, that you get to when you get to, like, and I've not been here, God, you're here at the moment. When you get to, like, mid-single figures, this is annoying that you're now, like...
I'm actually below mid because I'm 4.9, so...
Okay. Where... That's great to get to a certain point, but you have to get to a point as well where you go, I am going to go for it. Because I think that holds some golfers back.
Yeah.
That you have to believe a little bit that you can pull it off if you want to get down to really good golf. Or do you not think that?
But I think that's also part of the equation. Like, golf is a bit of a maths game. So let's say you're a drawer of the golf ball and you're trying to pull off the miracle slice. Are you going to back yourself? Unlikely. However, okay, let's say it's the hardest shot to try and play that raking hook. Well, if you're a drawer of the golf ball, you're probably going to have a better chance and a better success rate. So then maybe that's when you can add into the formula and give yourself a better outcome, maybe. But
Just be really rational. But the problem is I'm always too greedy. I'm always thinking, nah, it's fine. I haven't hit I haven't shaped the ball right to left for about 6 years now, but I'm going to do it now with a wedge.
who here goes for the superhero shots more often than not?
There's so
It's a
many
killer. Loads of arms
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do you know what? The most miserable people put their arms up then. It's like, oh, God, that's me. Okay. So here's a question. Here's a question for you, Inci. What is the most common mistake that you see people making? And I want to include, as I said earlier on, us goobers here tonight, but also when you're out there watching pros. What is the mistake and you think, yep, there we are, done it again?
The pros.
The pros or us, like across the board.
I think it's a really interesting question because immediately I would say course management, right? But at the same time, I feel like there's been a real evolution of golfers, right? So golfers have got stronger, they hit it further. So the further you hit, the closer you are to hole, obviously. Therefore, when you're in the rough, it's probably not as bad as it used to be. Golf tech has improved, it's got better. So the way the club interacts and goes through the turf, much better than what it used to be like. So I would naturally probably jump to the conclusion and say course management. But at the same time, we've seen that it has actually worked. So it's a very difficult question to answer, I feel.
I'm going to ask a question that's going to probably make me sad with the answer because I'm obsessed with it. But do you think YouTube golf has made the game better
Big
or
time.
worse?
Hasn't it made it so much better?
I think it's made it way better.
Way better.
But I
This is-
think people think they can hit shots and go distances now that they haven't really got in the locker. I mean, if you look at any of our YouTube videos, weirdly, every one of our listeners hits the 7-iron 180 yards,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm genuinely curious to ask the viewers here today. So before Live Golf, who here, put your hands up if you were a fan of Bryson DeChambeau?
I was.
What would you say? That's like maybe 30%?
Yes.
So this is before Live. So with the Live League, Bryson DeChambeau YouTube channel, would you say your mind has changed? Who here is now a fan of Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah.
I think that's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So I think the proof's in the Tom, that one.
We don't need
know what
to get
I'm
him
gonna
on
say?
Bryson. We don't need to get him on Bryson. It
I'm going to
becomes
say MAGA
political.
dickhead.
Oh,
Gonna
he
say
said
MAGA
it.
dickhead.
He said it.
Yeah, and
Don't you think he's changed recently? In the last few years?
Yeah, but I can't detach the fact that he went on stage with Donald Trump wearing a Make America Great Again
Oh,
cap.
no.
That's the problem.
We're
Sorry to
getting
bring
political,
politics,
guys.
but it's
Inci,
true.
I want the Live money, and I've got to work with this guy. How's Liv going to sign this podcast when
No, I
that's
did-
his banter?
I really loved him in that post YouTube bit where suddenly, and I think the YouTube thing. I mean Rory collapsing won him US Open, but I think that YouTube thing and the support he was getting from the crowd,
It's
got him
interesting
over the
though,
line.
because when he won the US Open, the way he was interacting with the crowd, I don't know about you guys, just my personal opinion, it felt very forced.
Yeah,
I thought, and I just
Okay.
thought, interesting.
Yeah.
But I think he's genuinely enjoying it so much more because he understands that this is an entertainment product. So you look at F1, for instance, you got drivers going round and round a track. I don't know how that can be entertaining, but it's an amazing entertainment product, right? It is.
A couple of F1 fans there for you.
No, but no, I'm saying it's an amazing product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So then you get golfers.
But it is just traffic.
Or then you get golfers. And sometimes they say no to in-round interviews. And that just blows my mind because I feel as though, this is once again my opinion, the players, they have a responsibility in understanding that this is an entertainment product. So, if you guys are going to deny interviews whilst we're on the golf course, which is totally doable, please do them because I don't understand why you would turn them down. F1 drivers, they get fined if they don't do them.
I got turned down when I did challenge.
Yeah, but you're big time, aren't you?
Yes. I just think it's really fascinating to see what YouTube Golf has done to the community, and it's amazing that it's grown the sport. But I just think distances that people think they can hit the ball are way off now. Everyone we speak to thinks their 7-iron goes, as I said, 180 yards, and I mean mine goes 145, right?
Yeah.
And I think hey, let's not call it cute.
It's so sweet. That's nice. Don't forget, there's this theory, isn't there, that when people are writing comments online, effectively, because they're so disinhibited, they're about 2 pints in.
Yeah, sure.
So essentially, when people say, I can hit my 8-iron 200 yards, that's sort of where they're at.
Yeah.
When they sober up in real life, they'll be like, actually, yeah, it's about 140 yards.
Yeah.
Inci, I've got a question for you, and it's one we talked about earlier on. I talked about Amos, who is my God who walks amongst us. Who is?
Look at that man.
There he is. Who is
definitely Steve Jobs. I see
It's
that.
Yeah, he's
So
got strong
Steve
job
Jobs.
vibes. Yeah.
He's actually a billionaire right there.
Yeah, he does have similar amounts of money, which is why he can play golf so much, which is why he's so good at golf.
It all makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. But who is your Amos? Who is the person you love playing golf with?
You know what? You teed me up back there, right? And I was thinking, I thought, oh, who would it be, right? And immediately it's like, who wouldn't it be? Because when you play golf with people and you're constantly looking for their golf balls, stresses me out.
I never bother looking for people's golf.
You actually don't. It's the worst trait of
I
yours.
just pretend to.
There'll be
I'm
me
like-
and Tom will be on one side, and I'll be like, we should really help this guy. He's like,
Would
I
you
can't
force
be bothered.
yourself to find it? Like, just move on.
Yeah, you should just
They need to change the rules around
But
lost
the thing
golf
is,
balls.
my golf has changed, right? So obviously, former competitor, whatever, this was a very serious thing for a very long time. Yeah. And now I've packed it in. When I say it doesn't matter, of course it matters, but it doesn't matter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I just think, if you lose, just drop it down. Here for fun.
Yeah.
Let's crack on. Come on.
I completely agree. But they should change the rules so that...
I bet this guy spends ages.
All right, leave it out.
But of course, you're only straight down the middle, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yep.
Because it doesn't go that far. So hang on. So wait. So who is the person? So the person that's the person you least like playing with is someone who loses their balls. But is there one human in particular who you're like, oh, I love having a round with them? You're going to say something soppy, aren't you?
I know what you're going to say.
Well, I know that my
half.
fiance was staring at me, thinking,
yeah.
"Please choose me." But then he's that banana slicer, so then it kind of drives me crazy.
You described him the other week on Text to Me as your caddy for life, which that's so sweet. Oh God. Ugh.
No, I don't know. I guess someone who's like slightly better than you always helps.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, but Amos isn't better than me. How dare you? No, it's true. It's true. Playing with someone better than you is really good. It's the most important thing to do because it's certainly better than you psychologically. That's the thing that makes a big difference for me. They could be off 24, but if they're chill and calm and they adapt well to things going wrong, I'm always like, oh, I should do that more. That helps.
Yeah. One question I want to ask is, how important are fittings, do you think? Really? How much are fittings being sold to us by the brands?
Yeah.
And how much does it actually really help your game?
So I'm taking my Callaway hat off right now.
Exactly.
Okay, sure. I would say that fittings are truly very important. I appreciate it's a very expensive process, and obviously we want golf to be as accessible as possible. I think if you're in a position where you can afford to have a fitting, absolutely go for it. You know, if you're a beginner just getting into the game and you're going to play with extra stiff shafts, sack it off because you found them on a secondhand market, whatever. Yeah. So I think, and also like everyone's limbs are very different, right? So some people have long arms, I've got short legs. Everyone's biomechanics are very different. And so if you have the opportunity, absolutely get fitted. I mean, I'm trying to not be corporate, but I do genuinely believe it's important.
It does make a massive difference because there are so many
look at the
variables.
best guys in the world, right? So they know which head is great for them, but then they'll try 10 different shafts, or they're playing in a different climate. They will tweak this and that. Every percent counts. So if the world's best at doing it, then
the world's
there's a
worst should
reason.
also do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
good. That makes
Take
sense.
notes, Tom.
Golf is hard
Take
enough.
notes.
Final question, Inci, and I feel like I'm uncovering the brain of someone who is not having their life made miserable by golf. Right? This
Yes,
is great.
really
This is
true.
great. And this is a question that I was thinking about earlier on. How do you hit a 3-wood off the deck? Just out of interest.
How do you hit a 3-wood off the deck?
Pretty well, thanks. I love my Cobras. I've loved the Cobra 3-woods, and I just...
We're not sponsored by them anymore. You don't have to say
I know,
that.
but I do still love the clubs.
Sure.
But listen, Ping, keep talking. It's just the compression thing for me. That's what I just try and squash. I just try and use that big sort of almost fist of a club just to punch the ball into the ground.
Wow.
That's my vibes.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
I've made it to go, wow. That worries me. You're like,
Oh, God. Wow. Well,
I
that's
think-
what you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the problem with people that struggle with fairway metals maybe off the deck, I think quite often they try and scoop it up.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably a bit of an issue. Always look at your fundamentals. You want your setup to be creme de la creme. But like you said, you do want to hit down. There's still loft on that 3-wood.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to scoop it up, sense of gravity moves, it's carnage.
Bryce,
So
no part of my game is creme de la creme. Not one bit. is creme de la creme.
Fromage de la fromage.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, off yogurt. Inci, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, hang on,
Thank
wait a
you.
second. There's one other thing we can
What?
do before we wrap up. Inci, any questions you've got for us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Great point, Tom, actually. Cheers, thanks.
Any questions for us? Yeah, don't worry about it. Fine, that's cool. Just...
We are Great Britain's 5th
What?
biggest golf podcast, after all. According to Nick Doherty, anyway.
I mean, how can you guys do confessions and name names? I mean, that's savage, guys.
Yeah, that was savage.
Yeah.
Tom, have you got a confession?
We'll be beeping them out. Have I got a golfing confession?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. No.
Here's my question for you guys.
Can
right?
I do
So-
mine very quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
Sometimes if it's a bad lie in the rough, I move it. Sorry.
Ah!
It's supposed to be fun, guys. I'm not playing out of that. It's true. Yeah.
This podcast is over.
Sorry.
Go on, Inci.
So obviously you guys record your podcast every single week pretty much, and you don't see who's here, but now you've got 100 of them right in front of you. So with this being your very first live podcast, what is it like meeting your listeners?
Oh.
It's pretty good. I wish we'd got more security.
Did Gary try and kiss you?
Yeah, Gary kissed me,
Yes.
and that's fine, absolutely fine.
It's fine.
Gary, yeah, I've met. It's just been delightful to put faces to emails, and it's amazing. I cannot believe we've been standing up here watching you guys come in, and we were just like,
They're actually real.
how
Yeah.
does this happen?
Can I say something genuine? It is a genuine honour to be here, and we wouldn't be able to do this without any of you, and it's so lovely to meet you in real life, and we've not been murdered yet.
Oh, I know.
It's so nice.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, and we love doing it. It is just such a passion of ours to do it. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting the podcast, and most importantly of all, thank you for buying the hoodies on the way out.
Yes, there's still hoodies!
No, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much. Inci Mehmet, ladies and
Inci
gentlemen.
And that's it.
That is it.
That's it. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and have some beers. Go and get some hoodies. We've still got the room for like another hour or something. Van's going to play some music, but it is a genuine honour. And this has been Golf Is Ruining My Life!
Well done, boys.